Hi there! The other days I was thinking I want to connect one of my mirrorless camera into my PC to use it as a webcam and for content production. But for my luck I have here for reviewing the OBSBOT Tiny 2 4K, a camera because I can't call it a webcam, with a huge sensor for great image quality with IA and lots of features. And I've used this camera and I want to share with you my review regarding this camera and why it's so great. So let's talk about this now. Hi there and welcome to my channel. My name is Tudor Matescu and in this video I want to share with you my real world impressions and review of OBSBOT Tiny 2 4K, a small webcam with a huge sensor for improved image quality. So if you are in content like this, please subscribe now to my channel and let's get to the subject. The first point that I want to address here, it is the quality of the image. The image quality, it is great because this camera has a huge sensor, a huge CMOS sensor, and when I first tested this camera for a webcam, I was jaw-dropping, and I'm showing on the screen my first reaction. I was amazed, and I'm still amazed how a camera that it is so small and tiny can bring to you directly into the PC such great image quality. I was so amazed with the image quality that I've recorded for myself an entire YouTube video. And this video, it is recorded with OBSBOT Tiny 2 4K. And as you are able to see, I have no problems in using my full frame cameras tete-a-tete with this OBSBOT camera, or even my APS-C X-T5 camera, or even my Micro Four Thirds camera that it's my main camera for the moment. So the image quality in practice of this camera, of course with lights in studio, it is amazing. So as you are able to see great image quality, also when you are zooming in, amazing. I'm looking on the screen now and I'm totally loving what I'm seeing. And I'm loving it, what I'm seeing, without editing. When I will edit this video, I hope I will improve the image quality and not ruin it. But overall, great image quality for a camera that it is so small. One of the explanation of why the image quality it is so good is that this camera has a huge sensor for a camera that it's so small, but also it has dual native ISO. So a camera with dual native ISO, so small, excellent for low light shooting if you don't have enough lights and if you aren't able to control your lights and if you are just starting and you have no lights in your camera to record yourself. The next point, great image control. You have full control of the image with the image app that comes with OBSBOT. So you are able to control the exposure in auto mode or in manual mode. So this camera can be controlled as any other camera. You'll be able to change ISO, shutter speed, exposure compensation, white balance, auto, or you can manual enter the value for white balance, contrast, sharpness, saturation, hue, and these settings will affect the image not just in the OBSBOT recording app but in other apps. I'm recording myself with the OBS software, but the exposure, white balance and all these settings that you can control on a normal mirrorless camera can be set in OBSBOT app. So great image control. So this means you'll be able to fully control your image and exposure and color of your image depending on your lighting situation and on the scene. And if you want to use their app to record yourself because you are a beginner, you can bake in that app how the image will look. You have full controls of your final image, so you can add background blur, you can add filters, so you will be able to give your image a cinematic look or any kind of look that you want. Also, you have filters that will influence your skin for women or for men. Also, you have body shapes and all kinds of intelligent filters that can help you have a final direct image when you are recording. So this is great. Bake your image in the app, just hit record and you are done. Upload your video and this is it. So great app. I'm really loving the app and what you are able to do with the app. Another point to address is that OBSBOT Tiny 24K has manual focusing control, so you will be able to fully control this camera in manual mode. A dream come true for anyone who wants to make video production and have all the controls they need to get the image they want. But now let's get to the most interesting parts, if that wasn't enough. It's a pan, tilt and zoom camera. It's a pan, tilt and zoom camera, a PTZ camera. Well, I must confess, I didn't know before making this video what it's a PTZ camera. Now I know. Pan, tilt and zoom camera. So I was always looking at those gimbals that will track you, and you would have to install a mirrorless camera on them and control them with a phone app, and they will track you and you will have motion in your video. So this is a huge deal for a content creator that wants to bring some motion in the video but doesn't want to pay a videographer or to pay an expensive gimbal and to record with that gimbal and with an app, then transfer the files in the PC and so on and so on. So lots of hassle. But now look here, we have a PTZ camera, pan, tilt and zoom camera that will track you and will help you have motion in your video. So this means you will be able to do videos that aren't boring straight into your PC. For me this is crazy. I'm really loving it a lot. But the main idea is that this camera, it tracks you how I've showed, but also being small and having a smart mount, it can be mounted anywhere you want it. They thought very well to make a mount that will help you get this camera in any angle you want. So this means you'll be able to have different angles and make videos that aren't boring. So what is special about the mount? First of all, I can't mount a big mirrorless camera like this as easy as I'm mounting this camera on my screen. So I can do tutorials, video tutorials and so on very easily with great image quality. So it has a special magnetic mount and a special piece that will mount on your screen, and you can use the magnet and attach the camera. And also you can make adjustments. But the base of OBSBOT Tiny 24K is magnetic. So I was thinking I want to mount this camera over the shoe mount of my camera. And I've took it and I've mounted, and yes, it worked great. This is great. So I can mount it using the magnetic option anywhere I want. But no, this is not enough. They also put a screw, 1/4-inch mount, so a normal tripod screw, so you'll be able to mount the OBSBOT camera on any tripod, being a desk mount tripod or being a mirrorless camera tripod. No problems. You can mount it anywhere you want, and with the 36-degree swivel, this camera will track you and you'll have interesting angles. No boring stuff in your video, just focused on your content. Now, are you ready to fire your videographer or hire the OBSBOT videographer artificial intelligence? Because now we are getting to the most exciting parts. If this wasn't enough, and there are more exciting parts, so stay tuned. This camera, how I've showed, it tracks you, but has the ability to track different parts of your body. So the first sub point regarding AI human tracking is that this camera, how we are able to see, it tracks you very easily. You can set this camera on motion tracking if you want more movement in your video. So as you are able to see, when I'm moving, the camera, it moves with me and adds dynamic to the image. It really depends on what you want. So AI human tracking, it is great. Also, you'll be able to use this camera with headless tracking. So if you want to show just this part of your body, presenting a product and so on, you'll be able to do this. Also, it's able to track your hands. It's able to track your hands, right hand, left hand. Maybe you have a product, or maybe you want to show something in the background. You will be able to do this So this camera can help you add any motion regarding human body parts. So depending on what you want to present and depending on what you want to show, let's say fitness, aerobics, products and so on, you will be able to do it without problems, But this is not enough. Let's get to the next point. The next function of this camera is that it is able to help you show what you are doing on the desk. So you'll be able to film yourself and then change the angle with desk mode. And the camera will enter in the desk mode and it's working very good. And this is it. Very simple to use. Very simple to show products and what you are doing on the desk. So great. You don't have to have a mount like I'm having here. It's very easy to set up. So a great camera for everyone who wants to begin recording and showing what is doing on the table and also film themselves. Film yourself, film the desk, film yourself, film the desk. It is very easy. You also will be able to show whiteboard if you are the kind of guy or girl who is talking at the whiteboard. Also, this helps a lot the remote control, and we'll talk in a minute about the remote control. That also has a laser to show at the whiteboard. Crazy, again, crazy. So if you are doing a podcast or you are multiple people that are talking and have a conference, this camera is able to record and to keep the group in focus. So great options right in the camera. I'm really loving them a lot. Okay, this wasn't enough. Yes, wasn't enough. You have full control of this camera with voice controls, gestures, with the remote control and with the app. Sleep tiny, hi tiny, great. Zoom in closer, great. As you are able to see, great stuff. Easy to control if you don't want to use the remote control, but I like the remote control a lot. But let's say you want to have your hands free and you can control this camera with voice but also with hand gestures. Great stuff, great stuff. You'll be ready to work with this camera as you want. Also, this camera has LED color indication, so you'll be able to know when this camera is tracking you and when this camera is not tracking you. So now the camera is not tracking me, it is green light, and now the camera will track me. It is blue light. Also you have dynamic zoom when this camera will track you and zoom in like other big and expensive mirrorless camera. So great stuff. Again, in such a small camera, easy to mount anywhere. It's not enough that this camera it is so good with all these things. No, it also has great audio. I've tested the audio. It has one of the best microphones on board. So I'm totally loving how this camera is recording audio. So if you want to do Zoom calls, you really don't need to use another microphone. If you want to do TikToks and if you don't want to use a big microphone like this, no problem. Use the onboard microphones of this camera. They are very, very good. And because you are close to the camera, you'll get great results. Another big advantage is that this camera can be used in vertical mode. You can put this camera on a tripod in vertical mode and you'll be ready to shoot your vertical videos. So great for this kind of content. Really, really great if you want to rock those TikToks and rock those shorts straight from your camera and not crop from a landscape video. This camera has a great price. When you are looking what this camera can do, it's a Swiss Army content creation knife. So if you are asking me, this camera can really replace and for sure will replace my main mirrorless camera. Why? Because it is so easy to record. I get great audio. I'm seeing very easily my image. I get the files straight in the computer, so I will be able to edit them, to correct them. I don't need to take the SD card, put it in my mirrorless expensive camera, take it out, put it in my SD card reader, transfer the files, edit the files, synchronize the sound and so on. No, with this camera I'm ready to go, ready to shoot. So yes, this I am so thrilled. Even if this video it is sponsored, these are my honest opinions. This is crazy. This camera it is a game changer camera. So for everyone who wants to do video, for everyone who wants to do Zoom calls, online classes, video conference with a high quality image. This is the future, and you can get this camera right now at a great price. I can't understand it. I can't understand it. Again, I'm looking at the image straight from the camera. It is sharp, it is clear, it tracks me. If I want to add more movement, I'm able to do this very easily with the remote control, with voice control, with gestures control, and so on. For the price, you get outstanding image quality, outstanding control, outstanding movement and tracking. So everything is outstanding. The app, the camera, everything. I really don't have nothing to complain. Really don't have nothing to complain. And I'm thinking how much the technology evolved, how hard it was before to get good image quality, to get good sound, and to get movement in your camera. And now how easy it is to get the movement. You really don't need another videographer. And also, this system, because it's a system, you can use multiple OBSBOT cameras. So you will be able to have, let's say, 3 cameras, have different angles, movements, so you'll be able to do live streams and so on. So it's a crazy system. From my point of view, this is the future for content creation regarding videography. No big bulky mirrorless camera. No, just a tiny camera, smart and ready to go. Now check the links in the comments and in the description to find out more about the OBSBOT Tiny 2 4K. Also, give it a like to this video, leave me your comments and subscribe to my channel. Thank you a lot and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.